Hey, it's James here from goodguitarist.com, and today I want to show you a simple fingerstyle arrangement that I made for Imagine by John Lennon. This is how it goes.
Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for, and no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us, and the world will be as one.
So as you can see, chord-wise, it's pretty simple, just like 2 and 3 finger chords that are easy to transition between. And the finger picking pattern's pretty consistent. It's meant to sound like the piano, with that like, kind of like how a piano player is like right, left, right, like they do on Imagine. And there's a couple extra little bits like, so it's a pretty full arrangement for how deceptively simple it is. You can see down below in the red line, like the table of contents, I've broken this lesson down into all the parts, and that's to help you later practice this thing. So, don't be afraid to use that and go through each section as many times as you need to. And if you enjoy learning in an organized way like that with me, please take a moment to subscribe if you haven't already done so. That really helps out the channel. Otherwise, let's jump in with how the song starts. We start off on a C chord, but we only need 2 fingers. So I have my ring finger on the 3rd fret of the A string and my middle finger where it belongs on the 2nd fret of D. And for my picking pattern, I'm going to put my thumb on the A string and my index on the next string and my middle on the next string after that. And the pattern, we do our fingers together, so our index and middle, and then thumb. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and that's like the core of this pattern. And for the next chord shape, I'm going to take my 2 fingers and move them down by 1 string, and then I'm going to put my index finger on the thickest string at the 1st fret. And this feels a lot like a bar chord, because it kind of is, but we're not barring anything. And it's actually, if you're not used to playing the F bar chord, a good way to get into it, because we only have to press down 3 strings, but it still makes you bring your elbow in. Make sure your thumb is in a good spot pointing upward. You could even point the neck upward a little bit more, and really get the right positioning, because when you play a bar chord, it's the exact same thing. But here we're only pressing the 3 strings. Our thumb is going to move to the thickest string, and we do the same thing. So I'd recommend getting used to just that, just the C chord with our thumb on the A string, and then the F chord. So there's 2 things that are moving. We move our fingers over and make our F shape, but our picking hand also has to move our thumb to the thickest string. And that's what you want to get used to first. At that point, the rest of it's actually pretty straightforward. This song does have a lot of sections, and there's going to be a lot of stuff for us to go over, but I want you to really work out that bit, because that's going to be the core element to this tune. Now, as far as putting this into the verse, we're going to start off with our C chord, and we're going to play our little pattern 3 times. 1 and 2 and 3 and then I'm going to use my ring finger to pluck the open B string. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And during this time, we have a little bit of time to switch into our F chord. And then we play that 1 and 2 and 3 and we can either do the same thing, end on that note, if you want to do it a simple way. and just going back and forth between them. Or we can add this cool little thing. So for that one, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and my middle finger's already where it needs to be. I pluck that string with my other middle finger, and then I slide it to the 3rd fret, and then I pluck the open B string. And the rhythm for that is 4 E and so it's a little 16th note thing, you know, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and 1 and once again, that's optional, but if you're down to, you know, add that to the tune, it makes it sound like pretty much exactly what he's playing on piano, which is really cool. And this C and F progression is the main thing. You know, that's what we're doing during the verse. And like I said, you know, we can do it in layers. I'm going to go through them all right now. Like I'm going to play it the simplest way, and then I'm going to kind of progress 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. You know, just doing this back and forth. 3 and 4 and from there 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and 1. I'll do that one more time.
No heaven.
And from that point, we have, I guess you'd call it the bridge. We're staying on an F chord.
Imagine.
And we do our pattern 2 times. And then we go to this shape right here, which is like A minor over E. But really all we need to do is take our index finger and put it just above our middle finger. We're plucking the same strings.
All the people.
And our middle finger gets to stay down for pretty much the next like 6 chords. Now we're going to go to a bit of a D shape. So my ring finger is going to the 3rd fret of the B string. I'm going to move my fingers to the B and G strings. So my index is on G, my middle is on B, and my thumb goes to the D string. So this is a bit of a thing, you know, moving from this A minor over E to this. You could even do it like that, you know, just like plucking them all at once and just getting used to moving to that new position. And we do our pattern on this one 2 times. And then once again, our middle finger stays down. Our index goes to the 1st fret of the B string. And our thumb is going to move to the A string. We're making like a C chord here, except our middle finger is on the G string instead of the D string. That's what this is, F over C. 2 times with that. Then we go to a G chord, and we only need to press down the 3rd fret of the thickest string. Our fingers are still here on the G over and B strings. And 2, 3. I put my index down on the 1st fret of the B string, and then my pinky on the 3rd fret of that same string. And I end it there. So I'm going to play through this entire section. This is where everything's kind of going all over the place, but it's pretty straightforward once you get the hang of switching through the chords. You know, you could even do that just going like, and just switching through the chords, you know, in sequence without even picking them. 3 and 4 and
Imagine all the people living for today.
And then we go back into another verse, another bridge, and then we have the chorus. And the chorus is the most straightforward part. We have our F chord,
You may
and then we drag it up 2 frets. Exact same shape, makes a G chord now.
say I'm a dreamer.
And then our C chord, just like we were doing before. And then an E chord. So our fingers, they stay on the same 2 strings the entire time. And our thumb moves just for the C chord.
You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
And we just do that 4 times, and then the last time we go back into our lovely piano bit. And that's it, just those 3 sections. Don't forget to, go back and forth using that table of contents so you can work on each of them. And when you're ready, I have a full playthrough on my Patreon page where I go through the entire song start to finish. And if you want help with fingerstyle, I have a course, Fingerpicking Mastery, which as long as you're comfortable with the basic chord shapes, it'll teach you everything you need to know, starting at the most basic stuff and ending up with like some pretty cool stuff, pretty impressive stuff that you can, perform for your friends and all that. And if you do need more help with the fundamentals, like with your sense of timing, with the basic chord shapes and all that, I also have a complete beginner's course, and I'll put a link to those in the corner. Don't forget to grab your copy of my free ebook. It's completely free for all my subscribers. If you enjoy learning with me, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below if you have any questions, or if you want to learn another fingerstyle tune like what I did today, just leave some suggestions. It doesn't have to be a fingerstyle song. What I'm doing here is I'm taking like a normal tune that everybody loves to strum and making a fingerstyle version of it. So if you have any suggestions, please let me know down below. Otherwise, have a fun time practicing, and I'll see you soon.